course, you're not going to answer this question right away. No. Instead, you need to use the question as a means to go on a bunch of seemingly unrelated tangents, only to conclude your speech in such a way that both ties up all loose ends and answers the question you asked in the first place. This is easier said than done, of course. Senior speeches are weird, so how do you go about writing one? Well, there's 3 popular ways to do it. 3 formats where seniors love to follow. First, the moment speech. Second, the media speech. And third, the analogy speech. Any of these 3 are good, and I don't blame you for picking classic. They have abundant room for creativity and originality, which is why they're so common. Let's go over your first option, the moment speech. This one's simple enough. Pick a moment in your life that was significant to you. Describe how you were before, how the moment changed you, and then connect it all to some sort of greater life lesson at the end. Giving an STA senior speech. Lots of people like to stay on brand and write about coming to STA. Stop me if you've heard this one before. When I was in 8th grade, the idea of a private military school sounded crazy to me. None of my friends from middle school were coming here, so why should I? But when I chatted with another student, I fell in love with the brotherhood. Stop! You guys aren't actually supposed to stop me. I'll skip the second one. Your second option is the media speech. Pick your favorite movie, TV show, or song and write about it. It's important to hear that you open and conclude your speech with a quote from your work. Again, make some greater connection at the end to the universe or human nature. In season 3 of Amazon Prime's The Boys, Homelander says, out of crisis comes change. In the show, Homelander is a narcissistic psychopath version of Superman. Technically, he's the bad guy. However, he is that way because he was raised alone in a lab. This supplies the very essence of human nature. We are social creatures. We need someone to lean on. And that's the great thing about our class, the class of 2023. We all lean on someone who leans on someone else, and so on, until all 137 of us are taken care of. Except for, of course, Rowan Burns, the penultimate Sigma male. So I invite you all, classes of 24 to 26, to accept this premise among your peers. Open up to them, count on them. Because when this school overwhelms you, your friends will be there, not only to help you back to your feet, but lift you up even higher. It's just like Homelander said, out of crisis comes change. Thank you and God bless. Now for your third option, the analogy. A classic. You can't go wrong here. Pick anything. It can be your favorite food, your pet, your hobby, your car, your job, anything. And explain an analogy between that thing and your life. Personally, I love my Bronco sport. Her and I have come to realize have a lot more in common than we thought. She's got wheels, 4 of them. They keep her driving forward. I've got 4 wheels of my own. Their names are Mom, Dad, Alex, and Tori. Without them, I would be literally nowhere and nothing, crushed and compacted in the middle of a desolate junkyard. But thanks to them, I'm free as a road runner. And just as my Bronco sport is able to handle off-road conditions, so too is my family always there for me, even when things get bumpy. Thank you all for everything. I love you. Aww. Next is our headlights, allowing me to see clearly where I'm going, even in the darkest of times. My headlights are my faith. I'm not a Catholic, and I never really prayed much coming into St. Thomas. But after junior year finals, after many back and forth, I decided to talk with Father about the many prevalent issues in my spiritual life. I'm so glad I did, and I challenge all of you to do the same. My car's also got Apple CarPlay functionality. The Apple CarPlay in my life is all the friends I've made here, because they're really convenient to have for the long hauls or the long days. They never fail to put a smile on my face. My Bronco's also got a big old tank of gas. The gas tank in my life is the values that my parents in this institution have instilled in me. Respect, integrity, humility, and kindness all come to mind. But what is my engine? What is the thing that takes these values, this gas, and converts it into real, tangible action? Well, it's me. The car is my life, and I am the engine. And surrounding me, I see 624 other engines. You all have your own gas tanks, filled with your own set of personal values. So be your own engine. Do it in little ways, that's fine. You don't need to be the biggest or the loudest engine. But don't set yourself on cruise control either. Push past your own limits every day. as for me, you can be sure to find me cruising along in my Bronco Sport. Thank you and God bless. Senior speeches really are weird, especially at STA. I mean, someone that offers a 4-year experience like no other will create young men who are like no other, who will write speeches that are like no other. And maybe that's exactly what answers my initial question. What makes a senior speech stick? Well, it depends. If you want the answer to give you some magic formula that will captivate every person in the audience and cause them to remember your speech for years to come, you can't have that. It doesn't exist. C, no senior speech can stick with everyone, but every senior speech will stick with someone. Those who are willing to hear you out and who can relate to your words, they may never know them personally. Those people are the reason that you will be out here one day. So that 3 years later, when they're writing their senior speech, they'll be thinking of you. And that makes all the difference. Thank you, God bless, and go Cadets!
Company commanders, take charge of your companies.
All seniors, stay in the court.